Welcome to your daily Mars weather bulletin, where we first check in on the surface rovers before diving into the three-sol forecast. Perseverance is operating at Jezero crater, having driven 92.8 meters on Sol 1,935 of the mission with a total odometer reading of 43.75 kilometers, and today's climatological model estimates for the site predict a high of minus 35 degrees, a low of minus 79 degrees, winds at 77 kilometers per hour, pressure at 7.9 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.81. Perseverance provides this navcam image from Sol 1,935 of the mission. Curiosity is operating at Gale crater, having driven 18.0 meters on Sol 4,970 of the mission with a total odometer reading of 37.95 kilometers, and today's climatological model estimates for the site predict a high of minus 27 degrees, a low of minus 74 degrees, winds at 58 kilometers per hour, pressure at 9.4 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.65. Curiosity provides this navcam image from Sol 4,970 of the mission. Rome is at its last confirmed mission site of Utopia Planitia, where it has not moved since its final published traverse record, which was 1.92 kilometers in total on Sol 347 of the mission, and today's climatological model estimates for the site predict a high of minus 54 degrees, a low of minus 87 degrees, winds at 83 kilometers per hour, pressure at 9.1 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.92. InSight is at its final mission site of Elysium Planitia, where it never drove, so it has no traverse distance and no odometer at all, and today's climatological model estimates for the site predict a high of minus 25 degrees, a low of minus 76 degrees, winds at 57 kilometers per hour, pressure at 7.8 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.8. On Sol 610, daytime highs reach minus 34 degrees. The sky is dominated by a dusty haze, with dust optical depths peaking at 1.04 over Hellas Planitia location. Winds gust up to 86 kilometers per hour at Olympus Mons location. Overnight lows drop to minus 80 degrees. Temperatures stabilize around minus 33 degrees during the day and rise slightly overnight. Dust remains heavy with optical depths near 1, while wind speeds increase significantly, peaking over Rome location. Next, we turn to the crossings of Deimos and Phobos across the disk of Mars. Deimos makes its first crossing across the apparent disk of Mars, lasting 85 minutes. In Los Angeles, this event occurs between 5:25 in the morning and 6:50 in the morning while Mars is above the horizon. In New York, the crossing takes place between 8:25 in the morning and 9:50 in the morning with Mars above the horizon. In London, the transit happens between 1:25 in the afternoon and 2:50 in the afternoon as Mars stands above the horizon. Phobos begins its sequence with the first crossing across the apparent disk of Mars, a passage that lasts 54 minutes. In Los Angeles, the crossing runs between 11:13 in the morning and 12:07 in the afternoon while Mars is above the horizon. In New York, the event occurs between 2:13 in the afternoon and 3:07 in the afternoon with Mars above the horizon. In London, Mars is below the horizon. Phobos continues its sequence with the next crossing across the apparent disk of Mars, lasting 54 minutes. In London, this passage occurs between 2:53 in the morning and 3:47 in the morning with Mars above the horizon, while in Los Angeles and New York, the planet stands below the horizon. Phobos continues its sequence with the next crossing across the apparent disk of Mars, a transit that lasts 54 minutes. In Los Angeles, the crossing occurs between 2:32 in the morning and 3:26 in the morning while Mars is above the horizon. In New York, The event takes place between 5:32 in the morning and 6:26 in the morning with Mars above the horizon. In London, the transit happens between 10:32 in the morning and 11:26 in the morning as Mars stands above the horizon. Mars is currently in the constellation Taurus. For observers in New York, Mars rises at 2:20 in the morning and sets at 5:18 in the afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Mars Weather. Goodbye, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.